This is nice and centered. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel B. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, let me just throw this disclaimer out there before I even get any further. I'm going to be very mindful of some of the words and some of the terms that I use in this video, specifically because I want this video to actually reach as many beautiful black women as it possibly can. This video is very specific, okay, to black women. And when I say black women, I mean that 92% of black women. If you know, you know. And for the women that it's not for, be very mindful of what is being said in the comment section. I'm gonna give you a few things that you really need to hone in and think about and really do, some practical things that you really need to do to make sure that 2025 is a really good year for you, despite all the shit that's going on. Every day I am literally waking up to something new on the news. On my Instagram feed, on TikTok, on YouTube, every day is something new. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the number one thing, black women, is that we're gonna have to limit how much interactions we have on social media. You do not need to know every little detail of every little thing that is going on, okay? You need to know the things that are important to you, you know, the policies and the laws and these orders that will affect you. Yes. So whether you get your information from news online, news on the TV, from social media outlets, you're going to have to condense how much media you're intaking. There were nights for the past 2 weeks that I haven't been able to sleep, and I'm gonna really say that comes from induced stress. But what has really caused my stress to like go through the roof is really being on my phone. So what I have done is on iPhone, they do have an option for you to limit your, like you can limit what apps and for how long you can be on those apps. So I'm mainly on Instagram and I'm mainly on YouTube. So I have set a 2-hour limit on Instagram and YouTube. So what this means is that the phone will kind of like gray out. These apps will gray out after a 2-hour, like after I spent like 2 hours a day on these apps. And before, it never used to work for me because I think I had it set last year to 1 hour, and 1 hour just wasn't enough, especially considering that I am a creator and that I'm online a lot. It wasn't enough, so I always found myself extending time, and child, it went from like me having to be on the internet for an hour to like 5 hours. But now more than ever, I am starting to adhere to a 2 hour maximum rule that I have set on my iPhone because I just need to. You're going to be able to find out the things that you need to find out, whether a friend is talking about it, whether a family member is talking about it. And at that point, you can go ahead and start doing some research and find out exactly what it is that they're talking about and how this can affect you directly. But let me just tell you something. All the shenanigans and all the bullshit that is going on online with this man, you need to make sure that you are limiting how much of that bullshit that you really have to intake, okay? Because you don't have to intake all of it. Now, this leads me to my next thing. You gotta start going outside and touching some grass. And when I tell you, I'm not saying that to be funny, I'm saying that quite literally, okay? I don't know about you, but right now I'm in Minnesota and it's still fairly cold. It's not like snowing like right now. It's not snowing, but it's cold. It's still, but the sun is out. So it's still great weather for me to be able to bundle up, go to a park, walk around, take a good book, take a blanket, and you can really go to the park and just relax and release and be in nature. I'm telling you, I'm not even like, I'm more of a glam diva girl, but let me just tell you something. Sometimes taking a step and being outside really helps me, even as a diva girl. You don't have to be out there all times of day, all times of night, and you don't have to be like in a tent hiking and doing all that. You can simply go to a very nice park by your house, and I have one very close. Go to a very nice park by your house, take a few snacks, take a little boom box. I take my little pill thing with me, and I am making that a weekly thing for me to do. So I'm gonna pick a day where the weather is not that bad. And even if it's after work, even if it's before work, I'm gonna go to the park and I'm gonna literally touch some fucking grass, okay? What nature does for me is it reminds me that God is still in control. Because when you look around, even when you go to a beach, you can go to a beach. When you look around, you are reminded of who's in charge. When I go to the beach and I see that large body of water and all this sand and all this beautiful creation, that idiot didn't make it. God made it. And so you have to get back to being one with nature so that you are reminded that you're still here, you're still alive, you're still breathing, so it's still work to be done. This leads me into my next thing. You have to grow a relationship with God. I tried to find a church home in Minnesota. Me and my friend went to a church. I want to tell y'all the truth, but I don't want to spoil this video with that foolishness. Let's just say that the church wasn't what it should have been. So what I said I was going to do was I was going to make it a ritual to, once I got a really big screen TV out there that I have not put up yet, and I need to get put up before January is over. I was going to make it a ritual for me to sit on my couch every Sunday with my Bible, with my notes and everything, and I'm going to tune into Potter's House. I love watching TD Jakes. I love watching Sarah Jakes. That's where I actually put my tithes and offerings into. And also I send my tithes and offerings to my local church that I actually grew up in. Make sure you're paying your tithes, but you need to get connected with God, because it ain't gonna be nobody but Jesus who gonna bring us to and through these next 4 years, okay? I was literally just reading in my Bible the other day. I was in Genesis and I was reading about, the story about how Joseph interpreted what his dream was about. And they was talking about that 4 years of lush and doing well, and then that next 4 years of famine. So in that book, in this story, I'm telling you this story because right now I believe we're about to be in our 4 years of famine. We need to make sure that we are storing up. Black women, we need to build and protect an emergency fund. Okay, so what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is like exactly what it sounds like. It's an oh shit fund. This is 3 to 6 months, maybe even 9 to 12, but I'm not gonna even push you that far if you haven't saved anything, of monthly expenses saved, okay? So let me tell you how I have built my emergency fund. What I do is, I know for me, being in Minnesota, they tax me out the wazoo when it comes to my money, okay? I don't know where you guys are, but they tax me a lot on my money, okay? That's on my regular checks, my commissions, everything. So what I do is I take 10% out of my check before it even hits my bank account. And you can set this up like I'm on like my paycheck, and my paycheck information is through ADP. Most people's is through ADP. What you can do is you can actually set how much percent of your check comes out before it even hits your bank account, okay? I send it into a high yield savings account, okay? High yield savings account earns you interest on your money. So much better than just having your money in a regular Bank of America account, regular TD account, regular whatever account. You actually are getting money for saving your money into these high yield savings accounts. My savings accounts through is a company called Laurel Road. I absolutely love them. There's no limits on how many bank accounts you can actually open. And I think right now, currently, you earn 4.5 or 4.7% on your money, and that is awesome, because if you were to have it in a regular bank or savings account, you don't get anything on it. You get like 0.0001. You get no money for saving your money. But in a high yield savings, it's like you're earning money for saving your money. Now let's go back to the emergency fund, right? This emergency fund is gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful when you first starting it to do it, but you're gonna start seeing your money pile up, and it's gonna motivate you to keep saving your money, right? So after the taxes, after, you know, I got my money going into my 401k, I got 10% coming out for that. I'm not gonna lie, by the time I get my check, baby, that check be looking slim. It be looking very skinny. She's not getting thick no more. But this is what it does to you. It helps you, it lets you know, because every paycheck, if you get it set up like this, every paycheck, you're gonna know exactly how much you're gonna get to the dollar, to the cent every time you get paid. It forces you to live within your means. And when I say forces you to live within your means, because after your taxes is taken out, your state taxes is taken out, your health insurance, your dental, all of those things are paid out, and you put money into your 401k, and then you put 10% into your emergency fund automatically to come out. When you get that $1,400-$1,500 check, you know that all you got is that $1,400-$1,500 check. So you start to recalculate and rebalance some of the other things that you got going on. So if you know that your rent is $2,000 and you get paid $1,600 each every two weeks after that, you know that after that $2,000 rent, you got what? $1,200 left, okay? And that $1,200 can go to like utilities, go to other little things, maybe you save in to get your hair done, whatever. But you know that all you got is that $1,600, okay? What happens with people and why people don't save, more specifically black people don't save, is because they're always saying, oh, I don't have the money to save. You make it to where you got the money to save. And the only way you can really make it to where you got the money to save is to do one or two, or really both things. That is to earn more money, okay? And that is to take your hands off of money that don't belong to you. Your emergency fund money is like you paying yourself. That money don't belong to you. That money is not yours. Just like the money that goes to your insurance, the money that goes to your estate taxes, your emergency fund money, I want you to start thinking of it as, damn, this is something I gotta pay. This is something I have to do. I'm sorry I spend a lot of time on that, because I really want you to understand, at minimum, you need to have 3 months. So if you spend $3,000 a month on bills, by the end of this year, you need to have $9,000 saved. And I'm telling you, you can get there. Start at 10%. Maybe 10% may be too much, and it may take you a little longer to save that money. If that's the case, that's fine. It's better than not putting no money up. Right now, we're just not in a space. All these rollbacks that these companies are doing, the things that they said that they were gonna do for us in 2020, and in the way that we've been protected since 1965, you don't know what your job is gonna do. So having this emergency fund will at least say, okay, if I save 3 months worth of emergency funds, that means that if all hell breaks loose and I'm no longer employed, I got at least 3 months worth of my living expenses already saved. And I'm gonna make sure I put the website down below to the high yield savings account that I go through. I'm telling you, I was with Capital One Performance Savings, and I still have one with them, but I like L'Oreal better because L'Oreal gives you more money, more interest, a way higher interest rate. So sorry I spent a lot of time on that, but that's very important. Next thing I want you guys, I want black women to do for 2025 is I want you to invest in a skill or certification, creating additional income. Okay, this is so important. I talk about this all the time. I know y'all are so sick of me talking about it. And also, if you're not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? Girl, I snaps over there, okay? Over here, I try to keep it cute and collective because I want this video to reach. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not following me on Instagram, please do. Link is in the bio as well. Back to a skill, a certification. In this economy, especially, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, and some of y'all may be upset. Y'all let me know down in the comments for my single girls. I feel like single girls have it the worst. And the reason I said that is because our bills are really left up to us. Like, we don't get no help. We can't get any government assistance. We can't get no food stamps. We can't get no cash assistance. we can't get like rental, like it's really, really hard on a single girl. But this is for all of my black girls, whether you got kids, husband, whatever. You need to be you need to be adding skills onto what you can do and be an expert in what you can do, because you're going to need to make additional income. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad a few years ago. I think I need some water. Give me a second. I've been talking a lot. Okay. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and let me just tell you something. That book really changed my life, okay? Growing up in Miami-Dade County to a single mother, which I told y'all the last time, my parents, they were not good with money at all. My mama used to spend up all my daddy money, and my daddy used to let her. They was a ball till you fall type of couple, okay? Loved them to death, but they was a ball till you fall type of couple. So I never really learned what it was to be financially literate, okay? When I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, there was one thing that stuck out to me the most, besides all the other things he was talking about on how he became like rich. And that was to stop saying that you can't buy something or you can't do something or you can't afford it. You need to learn how to afford those things. And most of the time, the way that you learn how to afford those things is by creating additional income, increasing your income. So that can look like asking for a raise. Bring your boss or email your boss a list of things that you believe you bring to the table to try to get an increase that way. I know for me, I work on commission. So I'm working extra hard to try to learn and do my job the best way I possibly can so I can make out on that commission every month. That's really, really good money. Also, another thing is that making sure I become good at content creation and editing videos and doing little things like that so that I can create additional income on YouTube. Paid partnerships, making sure my Instagram looks good so that when companies approach me, they approach me with the right amount of money. You understand what I'm saying? And so there are so many things you can add to you. Like, I know women right now who are, what do they call that? Notary, like a notary. I remember one point in time, I think my mom became like a notary person. And so she can notarize, and that's additional income. I don't care if your additional income brings you $100 a month. That's the light bill. That's gas in the car. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much. If you can add various different skills, you can be bringing in $500 to $1,000 a month, depending on how much work you put into it. So I want us to really, black women, to really focus on, what am I good at? What certification or skills can I add to me so that I can ask for more money at work, or so I can get an even better, higher paying job, right? These are the types of things we need to be really focusing on, because the money in 2025, I wish I could scream it from the mountaintop of black women. Money and creating additional income is going to be one of the most important things on top of your mental health that you can do for yourself in 2025. Another thing is getting your health in order, okay? So I didn't tell y'all all the story, but I'm going to share the story over on my new fitness health channel. I am Chanel B Fitness. So if you haven't subscribed to that channel, make sure you do. That link is also going to be in the bio. I want you to get into the best shape of your life, okay? I want it to where you, a doctor can't tell you nothing about your body that you haven't already been feeling. I want anybody having precedence over your body, over your health, and over your fitness, because when I tell y'all my story and how my doctors here in Minnesota tried me like a baser, you're going to understand exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. So I need you to make sure that you're checking in with a nutritionist. You checking in with somebody who can tell you about how you should be eating for your blood type. You're checking in, getting an annual done. Getting blood drawn, and making sure you understand. Ask your doctor questions, and if your doctor can't explain to you, take those results to another doctor and have somebody explain to you. Don't let nobody rush you out of their doctor's office. Their ass was late to the appointment anyway, so they need to be patient and they need to be listening to you, okay? Also, you want to make sure that you're scheduling eye appointments, scheduling your dental. Speaking of, I need to be doing that. Your dental, you need to be seeing these doctors at least once or twice a day. Once or twice a year. I would say every 6 months, maybe get this. Some of these things you don't even need done every 6 months. You just need them done once a year. And then from there, if they tell you cholesterol high, they tell you this is high, they tell you this is high, get the vitamins that you need and set up your regimen, okay? Make sure you're taking them vitamins every single day. Do not miss on those vitamins, okay? Vitamin D for Black women is very, very, very important. I'm gonna talk about that on my fitness channel as well. Vitamin D is extremely important for women, okay? Making sure that we have that in our diet. Making sure that we're getting leafy greens, okay? If you're not a fan of cooked greens, you better get you some Bloom, okay? So you can drink the greens. Or you can make a smoothie. Make you some nice smoothies with the vegetables that you're lacking on your plate. You can drink them, okay? And they can be awesome. But making sure that you're getting that. Making sure that you're getting enough protein in your diet. A lot of us, I'm talking about this in my fitness channel, a lot of us are not taking enough protein to maintain our muscle mass. Muscle mass is extremely important as you get older, okay? To keep you healthy. That's what keeps older people healthy, is the muscle mass. And you need to be making sure you exercise. If you feel like you show up to the gym and don't know what to do at the gym, you're gonna have to invest in a trainer. Or if you don't have the money to invest in a trainer, that's absolutely fine. My fitness channel, I'm gonna be showing you exactly what I do, and you could steal my regimen and you could do what I'm doing in the gym, because baby, your girl done lost 16 pounds. It was 15, but your girl done lost 16 pounds, and I'm gonna continuously get better and better every month. I lost 15 pounds in maybe 45 days, so like a month and a half. And every month is just gonna get better and better. You guys gotta follow the journey. I'm gonna show you what to do in the gym. If you don't have the money, I will show you what to do to build your body, recomp your body. We're gonna be talking about all that. So listen, making sure that you show up to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week. You don't have to go 7 days a week. That's not necessary. You can go 3 to 4 times a week and still get the results, and still make sure that heart and that blood is pumping and flowing, and that you are in the best shape of your life. Taking your hot girl walks. I hear a lot of people talk about they do like long walks, and I've actually heard a lot of girls say that they've dropped a lot of weight because of these walks. Put you a little cute fanny pack in. And also make sure that you have on some headphones. Make sure you look cute going outside, and you go do your little hot girl walk. Do what you need to do to make sure that that health is optimum this year. I want you to create a routine for yourself, okay? I heard Will Smith say self-discipline equals self-love. And when I tell you, he's not lying. I want you to create a routine. And the reason I want you to create a routine is because I want you to understand that your routine and you come first despite what's going on in the world. So that routine should include something like some meditation in the morning before you step outside, before you go in your car, go through traffic, maybe curse a few people out in traffic, and then show up to work and you feel so heavy in your spirit going to work. You need to take time and create a routine that is designed specifically for you. I have a friend who she used to hate journaling. Every time I used to tell her, you need to journal, you need to journal, you need to journal, she'd be like, oh, that's just not working, and this and the third. Now my friend journals because she went to go see a therapist, and the therapist talked about journaling, and now she is a journaling girl. Journaling really does help you get all of the thoughts out of your head and out of your heart and onto paper. And I'm telling you, you feel so much lighter. You don't have to have a journal prompt. You could just write blah, 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 blah. If that's how you're feeling at that moment, let me tell you, it gets it out of your mind, your head, and your heart. And it really pushes you, and it really helps you to get some of that weight up off of you. Another thing is that I don't want you to be under a lot of stress. I know that's easier said than done. So a part of your routine may be seeing therapists once a week. Right now, I'm currently seeing a therapist over at Better Health that I absolutely love. And actually, her and I are going to meet in the next hour and a half. At 5 o'clock, we have a session. I've been seeing her once a week. And when I tell you, it's been doing me good because it gives me somebody to check in with. And I don't know, it's just been great. It's been a great time. I've been getting a lot off my chest. I've been able to process through a lot of things, and she's been teaching me how to work through a lot of things. So that is a part of my routine. Another thing that's a part of my routine is making sure that I keep my hair done, okay? I'm learning how to do, just like I do my own makeup, I'm learning how to do my own hair so that I can always make sure that I know, even if I can't make it to a salon, that I know how to fix my hair to where I look great, okay? So I've bought plenty of hair products from the beauty supply store. Make sure I stock up on that. And I'm buying like things to do my quick weaves. Your girl has been on YouTube. Your girl has been on YouTube really trying to put her best foot forward and learning how to do a lot of hairstyles. And I'm not gonna lie, YouTube and TikTok has been saving me on how to do my hair, okay? And so I absolutely love that so much. And I think that's something that's gonna really stay a part of my routine. Another thing that is a part of my routine is making sure that I go work out. I work out 3 times throughout the week, and then I work out on Saturday morning, just like a, what they call like an active recovery day. So I just do a lot of cardio, and sometimes I feel like doing a whole body. I will throw it in there, but that day is normally just cardio and being in a sauna for like 45 minutes to an hour. And that works for me really well. Another thing that is a part of my routine is making sure I cook my meals. Yes, your girl cooks like 2 to 3 times a day. The dishes be piled up, but I love it, and it's way better than me buying food off the street. The food, I don't know if it's just in Minnesota, but when I tell you the food ain't good no more, child, and it has really caused me to have to cook my own meals, and so I absolutely love that. The last thing I want to bring up for Black women in 2025 is we're going to have to protect ourselves. We need to be prepared as much as possible for whatever is to come. There are a few precautions I actually started to take during 2020 and 2021 when the world was just chaotic for Black people. And we were there. We were there to witness it. We were there to experience it. We went to the protests. We did all the things. There are certain things I don't even do because I don't even feel safe doing them. I love my life to death. I love myself. I love my family. I love the little tiny bit of friends I got. I love my life, and I love what I have created for myself. With that being said, I'm going to say this. These are a few precautions I have taken, and I'm telling you these precautions that I've taken because I want you to think about what you do on a daily basis that may not come across to you as harmful, but to the opposing side, it can come off as harmful and give them a reason to do something stupid. Because we are not protected by our policies, by our laws. It is literally, as my military father would say, it is open season. I don't have a car, okay? And, oh my God, am I about to cry? Oh, hell no, I'm about to cry. So, I don't have a car. And the number one reason I don't have a car is because it became so expensive to buy a car because rates increased and it was just so much. So the number one reason why I don't have a car is because it is too expensive to maintain a car. Between the car note and the car insurance and the maintenance, I don't want it. And let me tell you, because of it, I have saved $1,000 because all those things, that's about $1,000 at minimum. Okay. The second reason, and I didn't even realize this until I had a conversation with one of my girlfriends who I used to go to college with, and we were on the phone talking. And I told her, I am actually kind of sort of traumatized because when I was in college in Tallahassee, Florida, Tallahassee is the capital of Florida. When I was just a college girl, I used to feel like and I don't know if it was because of the type of car I drove, because it was like a boy car, but it was me, a girl, and I had tents on it. I used to get stopped by the police so frequent, it wasn't even funny. It was like a couple times a week, like 4 or 5 times a week. It traumatized me so bad that I didn't even used to want to go out at night in Tallahassee, Florida. Like when my friends want to hang out or go to a club or something, I didn't even want to drive my car. I'd be like, girl, just come pick me up. Or I'll take an Uber or something like that. Majority of the incidents that we see where people get a little too trigger happy, and the people, you know who I'm talking about, is just routine stops. So I said all that to say, dark tents, you don't need them. Give them no reason. The same with my girls at work. Document everything. Keep everything documented. I got folders for people. Keep everything documented. Making sure that your tags are not expired. Making sure that your license is good. Another thing I don't do is I used to like to go to the gym like 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, when the time changed, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning was a little dark. During those time changes, it may not be the safest to go jogging, running in certain neighborhoods. I used to walk to go to spinning, and it would be like alley back ways. So instead of taking alley back ways, I just take all front streets so that I'm always facing moving cars. I'm always facing somebody where they have their eyes on me, where it could be cameras. So taking little precautions like that. Even when something as small as this, even when I go take my photos downstairs and I have my tripod is long. I don't want nobody to think I got a chitty chitty bang bang in my hand. So I close my tripod all the way up and I stick it in my bag. And then when I get outside, I pull it out and I do that. I want to just leave you with that. If you got teenage boys, make sure that their car stuff is up to date. Make sure the tints on the windows are not overly tinted, right? Make sure they're not smoking in their cars. Even if you feel like they are, you need to go and inspect that car. And if you find something, you need to have a very serious talk with them, okay? With boys, with young black boys. And you need to have a talk with them, period, about having a whole bunch of other friends in their cars and making sure that their friends who get in their cars don't have stuff on them, because how that can end. So you gotta have some very serious conversations with your kids if you do have young black boys. If you have young black girls, you need to tell them that the same things. You need to have the same conversations with them, but you need to also let them know, like, hey, we live in this state. Have them to do the research. Say, you need to know it too, but have them to do the research and say, hey, what does this state say about if you get pregnant, abortion laws? What does it say about if you were to have a pregnancy that was about to cause your life? What can the medical professionals do? What can they do in our state? I want you to come back and tell me. They come back and tell you, y'all sit down, y'all have a discussion about it. Hey, not to get in your business. If you are thinking about having sex, or you are, use this, or we can go to the doctor and get on some birth control. Right now is not a time to be reactive to what they're doing, but rather help them and be proactive, because the teenagers are going to do what the teenagers want to do when your back is turned. But you need to raise them in a way to where they feel like they can come to you, but that they also are making great decisions. I knew my mom was doing a great job being a single mother, because even when she was out of our presence, we still made good decisions. We kind of did what we wanted to do a little bit too, but for the most part, we made pretty decent decisions. And so, yeah. Y'all, this is Editing Chanel. I know I look crazy, but I'm editing and have been for the past couple of hours. But there was something in the video that I did not mention that as I was editing, I was like, oh snap, I forgot to mention that. I can't tell you what to do because we're all adults, we're all grown. But what I will say is girls who are in relationships, girls who are married, newly married, old, been in your marriage for a while, if you are considering getting pregnant, I would say to be very mindful. And if you and your husband or your spouse, your significant other could come up with a better plan, I would say to hold off. Not saying don't have any kids anytime soon, but what I'm saying is if we can hold off, let's hold off. We already know that the mortality rates for Black women for giving birth is already high, is significantly higher than our white female counterparts. But right now may not be a great time because there's just so much going on when it comes to our rights and what can happen and what can't happen if we ever had a medical emergency during pregnancy. So, like I said, you girls are grown. You girls are gonna do what you wanna do, but if you can't, clank, lock it down, no babies for the next 4 years and maybe like a year or two even after the 4 years. All right. Black women, I love you. I adore you. Y'all have raised me. Y'all are my priority. I'm always thinking about you first and foremost. And we're not gonna live this year in fear, but we gonna come equipped like a mug. You heard me? And that's just that on that. And so I hope that you were able to take something away from this video. Comment down below. How did this resonate with you? What are you doing going forward? I love y'all, and let's show each other love in the comments, and let's show each other love in real life. In real life, we are all sisters, and we need to tighten up, and we need to start acting more and more like sisters every day, because we're gonna need to stick together. Do you hear me? More now than ever before. We're gonna need to stick together. So I love y'all. I hope you subscribe. Comment down below what is 2025 looking like for you, what you taking, what you not taking. And until next time, bye.